Hello. Today is another interview with friend from Italy. She's Linda. How are you today?
Bom dia, Rod. Hello, everyone. I'm well, thanks. Hope you are too.
Good. You spoke Portuguese. I'm really well as well. So, Linda, could you tell us why did you decide to start studying English?
Yes, of course. Well, I have to say that after having attended a technical business high school, I started to work in an administration office in a
Mm-hmm.
company near my town. So it's not like I am using English that much.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to continue after my school years to study
Mm-hmm.
English by myself just because I've always loved the language,
Mm-hmm.
mainly because I love to travel and,
Mm-hmm.
of course, interact with people from around the world. And we
Mm-hmm.
know that English is the language of the international communication, so it's kind of convenient. And because I've always been interested in other countries' culture.
Mm-hmm. That's very nice. When did you get to know that English was really important to you?
Well, because when I was at school, when I was in elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I can tell you a fun fact, like
Please.
a story on how I started to enjoy the
Mm-hmm.
language.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I was in the elementary school and don't remember exactly which grade, but there
Yeah.
was this classmate of mine, my best friend at that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And her dad went on a business trip to the United States, in
Yeah.
Ohio, precise.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got back, he gave us, all of
Mm-hmm.
his daughter's classmates, these
Mm-hmm.
keychains with our name printed on them. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew at that time that they were coming from like a far country, as much as
Mm-hmm.
a child can
Yeah.
understand what the United States are.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew they were coming from across the ocean where
Yes.
another language is spoken. And
Mm-hmm.
that really, I was so enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember like it was yesterday. And I
Yeah.
think that that episode triggered it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started to enjoy English. And of course, growing up, I knew that English is important, of course, to communicate with people from around the world.
Oh, that's really nice. Why did you decide to go on YouTube and search for English teaching channels to improve your English?
Because I have to say that I discovered the YouTube videos only in recent years. And I remember I was watching Bob the Canadian's channel. And after a while, I have noticed some curious comments from American English with this guy. And so I thought, I really have to know who this guy is, literally this guy. And I immediately liked his channel. And there is where I found you. So basically now I follow the best Canadian teacher, the best American teacher, and the best Brazilian teacher. And I feel
W-
so lucky because you guys really helped me improve.
Well, thank you so much. Could you tell everybody, because it's a fun fact, if you don't mind, how you found me and how you sent me your first message totally in English to be uploaded to my channel?
Yes, I don't know what exactly, you know, struck me about you. Maybe the total content that you put on your channel is very interesting. And you immediately struck me as a very kind person, leaning to help other people. So that's why I decided to send you this message from inside. I don't know.
And it was a message for the 1 year celebration of the
Yes,
channel. I
exactly.
remember
Exactly.
that we have a friend in common, Sida, and you
Yes,
talked to Sida, and Sida gave you
me.
my contact, and you sent me the message for the
Exactly.
channel. And I really appreciate that, because the job that I do on YouTube is really to help people, because
Yes.
it's totally for free. After you started learning English, because you have really good English right now, what is one of the fondest memories that you have from all these experience?
What I can say is that I can share with you the story that made me improve. Because after I had my daughter, I immediately wanted to share my passion with her. So I started to talk to her in English since day one, since she was born, because I was really keen on it, and that meant a lot. And I think that if you start to, you know, um, speak in English, and so from an early age to your child or to a kid, that really can help, because the sound of a language, being familiar with the sound of a foreign language since an early age, I think this really can make it easy down the road. So all went well and smoothly after preschool started. And at that point, she had like a total refusal phase. I think it caused because I was the only one talking to her in this strange language. I don't know, it's just a guess. So she basically didn't want me to talk her in English anymore. And at that point, I was heartbroken, and I sort of gave up. I gave up because I didn't want to force her, I would have made it worse. But I gave up, but just for a while, because I don't think I'm a quitter. I don't like to give up, especially if there's something that I really value. And so what I did was I simply cut down on the amount of English that I was instilling into her little head. So I limited myself to talk to her in English, just few words
Yes.
at a time, read short stories, because in the meantime, I had bought tons of English children books and played games, this stuff. And I think that kind of worked. And now that she's growing up, she's almost 10 years old, she realizes that English is important, because she can understand the songs that she likes, watch TV, play games, all this stuff. So I did. All this story taught me that it's important to never give up. Even the situation seems helpless, eventually you're gonna make it. And I also want to tell, if you are a parent like me and you have a child that doesn't want to learn English, don't give up. Maybe set aside the over enthusiasm that you might have, like me, and just be patient, because they'll eventually come around.
The naysayers are the ones that you have to go through the quickest you can, because they're going to come to you and say, no, you're not going to do it. It's not going to be possible. Everything is
Yes,
possible. I think that the most important thing is that you have to be honest to yourself and to others. And
yes.
by teaching your daughter, my wife and I, we have the experience of teaching children since they are 5 years old. So we teach English to them along with school, because at this time in Brazil, children don't learn English. Or if they do, it's very superficial. So in a shallow way, they have to go to a private school like mine, where we tutor these children along with the regular school, let's say so. They learn very quickly, but one thing that I say as a principal at a school, the best teacher you have in that school has to be the teacher to teach that child. Because everything you teach a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old sticks. It's
Yes.
like a blank page. So if you teach a word in a wrong way, it's going to be stuck on the blank
Yes.
page, and they're gonna say that in a wrong way for a long time.
I had that experience.
Yeah. What is the fondest memory of learning English with YouTube channels and by yourself? What can you tell us?
I think it's important to learn by doing things that you love, of course, because for me, passion helped me a lot. If I had to learn and study English, if I just had to, I would probably have learned by doing things that I like. It's really important
Yes.
because you have to stay motivated. And I don't know that sometimes it's hard, like if you are tired or sad or you're not in the happiest of moods, it's hard. But you have just to be consistent. Otherwise, we'll lose that fluency that you have. It's important. It's really important.
What do you think the future holds for you, Linda?
Well, I don't know about the future. The future for all of us is unknown. But I think that we're all doing new experiences that make us grow in a way or another. And I will embrace whatever the future has in store for me.
Yes, awesome. What is
Yes.
the advice that you would give for people who are watching us to keep motivated to study English, or not only English, any other language they want to learn?
Well, first of all, because of my experience, because who I am, I have learned that you have to stop trying to be perfect all the time, because this eventually will take a toll on you, in the sense that making mistakes is completely understandable. You're gonna learn by making mistakes, and don't care about what other people think, because you just have to be yourself, be who you are. People will judge you either way, so whatever. And also be confident, because world, as we all know, can be mean. So you're gonna need that confidence and believe in yourself.
Yes. As a non-native English teacher, I think that sometimes I receive much more judgment because I wasn't born a Native American or a Native British, but I put a lot of effort. It's been 35 years that I speak English, 35 years that I study English. I studied accent reduction. I'm telling all of this because I just want to give you a context. And once a student came to me and said, "Why did you do your master's degree on accent reduction? You don't like people's accents?" I said, "No, I really love accents because accent is proof of who you are, of where you're from." I studied accent reduction because I want to help people to speak, understand, and be understood in a better way. What's your opinion about all that?
My opinion is that non-native English speakers or teachers
Mm-hmm.
are really doing their job because they have a passion. So it's obvious that they're gonna do all their best
Mm-hmm.
to help other people to improve. And I'm with you, because it's the same thing for me when I teach my daughter. I do my best. Of course, if I don't know something, I look up in the dictionary to be sure to don't make mistakes. But as you said, it's normal. We are humans. We make mistakes even when we talk in our native.
So now I think we're gonna go to the rapid round game.
All right. I've been dreading this moment since the beginning of this interview.
And it's gonna be very fast, don't worry.
Okay.
My daughter is?
My little girl. She will forever be, even if she's growing up so fast.
English is?
My everyday treat.
The present is? The now?
Full of experiences.
Traveling is?
Fun.
My next station will be?
Mars.
If I had to describe myself in one single word, that would be?
Spontaneous.
Awesome. The most beautiful word in English for me is?
Gratitude. Because people too many times take things for granted. We should be more appreciative.
Yeah. And also not discard people. People should not be discarded. There's not, I don't need you anymore. As you said, there's always gratitude.
Yes.
Now you can ask me your question. I'm on the hot seat now.
Okay. For you, Italy is?
It's a place that I want to visit as soon as possible.
Great. Brazilians are?
Very warm and friendly.
Okay, I agree. I have a friend from Brazil. A book?
When bad things happen to good people.
Nice. All right. And the last question is the most beautiful Portuguese word.
Felicidade.
Yeah, happiness.
Yes, happiness, because it's something that we are after up to the last day of our lives.
Small things in life in general are the ones that makes you happy.
Yeah, I think we got to the end of the interview. It was really amazing. And for every guest, I have a sentence, a quote, a takeaway. Nobody does anything alone. We're not alone.
Nice.
We are born and we die alone. We go away and we come to this world by ourselves. But during the whole process, you always have to have a friend, a parent, a kid, or someone to be around you. What I'm telling you is, I suck at math and I love languages. But there are people who love math and hate languages. If everybody liked yellow, what about the other colors? Let's finish this interview with a question to everybody. What is peace for you? This was my friend Linda. She's a subscriber to my channel, a big supporter. We met on YouTube channels, and you could see that she speaks amazing English. Thank you so much for doing this interview. It was a huge pleasure to have you on the channel.
My pleasure, Rod.
Thank you so much for your kind words, for all your support. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye-bye. See you. Thank you. Bye, Linda. Thank you.
Bye, Rod. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Hello, it's Rod's friend here, Gino from Real Everyday English. Sorry for interrupting your video. I just want to make a quick recommendation that you subscribe to Rodrigo's channel. He's an amazing guy. He's so humble. He's so dedicated. And he creates absolutely fantastic content. See you people soon. Bye bye. God bless.